'cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck.
Yo, what's poppin' YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, bringing you guys prank kid combo tutorials. I'm bringing you guys two combos, secret tech, and one of them being why you should likely consider playing the small thunder package in the deck. Even though Colossus is banned, it still has its uses in a lot of different ways that I will show you. Prank kids, huh guys? It looks like the deck's gonna be very, very playable. And meta, the rogue will never go meta, meta will always go rogue. That's how this works. Anyway guys, I kept you guys waiting long enough. Let's go and hop into the combo tutorials so you can see how this works. Alrighty folks, here we are in the laboratory with this combo. You have likely seen this before in Triff's stream, but if not, S-Fish, i.e. Sam, my boy Sam, that we worked on this a little bit. I gave him the idea of the secret tech that I've been holding on to for about 8 months to all the year, and so if you guys haven't seen it, I will show you here today. You're going to need any prank kids in your hand. I'm choosing Roxy's just because you need the extra card in hand to banish. Just want to get it out the way ASAP. And the last card being this tech choice is Ultra Polymerization. This card is pretty phenomenal in a lot of ways, and you'll see why in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and start off Roxy's. We're going to link into our Meow Meow, and we're going to use the effect of Roxy's to banish random card in our hand, draw a card, and to summon a prank kids from the deck. You always want to make sure you summon Fansies before you make your doodle-do. So you're always able to chain block. You always want to make your prank kids effect monsters chain link 1, so you can always be sure to have something flowing, stuff going. So you always want to protect these against hand traps and all that mess. So Fansies is going to be chain link 1, Doodle is going to be chain link 2, and with Doodle specifically, you're going to add Pandemonium to your hand. I don't really know if you need to play 3 copies because Doodle often gets it to your hand, and if it doesn't, i.e. it gets hand trapped, you can always just foolish it and then get it to your hand anyway. So we're going to summon out Dropsies this time. Alright, now what we're going to do is activate Ultra Polymerization. So with this one, you have to pay 2,000 life points, and you fusion summon monsters only using the materials on the field. But it is a spell speed forward effect, so your opponent can't respond to it, they can't negate it, they can't stop it, and things like that. So you're summoning our Rocket Ride. Now we're going to use the effect of Dropsies to summon out a fire monster. We're going to summon out our Lampsies, and so you would think there's no reason to play this card since it doesn't use the materials from the hand, but where this card really shines is in the graveyard. You can also banish it to target a fusion monster, and if the materials used to summon it are still in the graveyard, you can summon them back. Their effects are negated and their attacks go to 0, but that really does not matter. So what we can do here is we can, since this effect is negated, we can link the Lampsies and the Doodle into a Bow Wow Bark. Now, that is going to be the last prank kids that we have not used, so we're going to use Lampsies to burn our opponent for 500 and summon a prank kids monster from the deck. You're going to summon out a second Dropsies. Hey look, you got 2 aqua monsters, so what that means is you can make Treat Toad, like so. Now you can use the effect of Rocket Ride. You can tribute it and target 2 prank kids in the graveyard and summon them both. We'll choose Doodle, and well, I guess we'll do Fansies just in case. So the reason why we structure our plays this way is because if you have another way to, let's say, put another prank kids monster on field and such, instead of like making Doodle, well actually yeah, instead of if you had another way to put another monster on the board, what you could then do is make Verte Anaconda in this zone and keeping the doodle and using the doodle to get extra cards to your hand, if that makes any sense. So we're going to use Anaconda to pay 2,000 for our Dragoon and Red Eyes. Now there's all kinds of different things you could do here. It doesn't have to be Anaconda and Dragoon if you really don't want to play the Brits, quote unquote. There's a lot of options, but anyway, what are you looking at here? You can set this. So this is the random card in your hand that you drew off Roxy's. This is the discard for Dragoon, obviously. On standby phase, or on standby phase, you can just trigger this to make sure you already have, the fusion materials in your hand, and to be protected from like the Dark Ruler. Because if you do get Dark Ruler, your Bow Bark isn't really going to be able to resolve, so it's best to just do it immediately and all that. So even if your opponent Dark Rulers here, any other card that activates, you can use the effect of Toad. It won't fully resolve, but its Grave effect will, adding Dropsies back to your hand, and you can still activate the set Pandemonium and summon your Battle Butler anyway. So even under Dark Ruler no more, you are still in a very, very good spot. So you can use all the 3 of the prank hits and float into other things. Like so, you got 1, 2, and 3. I think Fancies is one of them, so you can Foolish Plan to the graveyard and all that. So what other things can you do here? Well, if you're not comfortable with Anaconda, or you can't afford Dragoon, or just you're not comfortable playing the extra bricks, I guess, in your deck, there's other things you can do. You can make IP Masquerena instead, and with that, you are able to essentially use IP Masquerena for the monsters that you summoned with Battle Butler, and you can make a couple things. You can make either Absolusa, which is pretty nice, or my personal choice, because of this deck in particular, I would honestly go for Unchained Abomination. That is just my personal preference for this deck in particular, and all that, for many different reasons. Because this essentially, if you don't have the access to the Roaring Roaster, this is essentially kind of a Roaster 2.0, to where you can still pop back row in many different ways, pops monsters and things like that. Again, it's kind of like I don't know, it's not a Dragoon necessarily, but it does apply more and more pressure on your opponent. It's flexible. It doesn't negate, but it does destroy. It does deal with back row, so that's why it's my personal choice here. So we're gonna go on to combo number 2, and I'll show you something very interesting. Alright guys, so here I'm going to show you why you should be playing the Thunder Engine. A small Thunder package, if you will. Especially if you are not playing Dragoon and you want to play like IP Masquerena instead. This you might be interested in looking at. So we're gonna start off with Roxy's again. We're gonna link into Meow Meow once again, and that is going to trigger off our Roxy's. Banish Thunder Dragon Roar from your hand, draw a random card, and we'll use the effect. Oh yeah, well, we still need to resolve Roxy's. We're gonna summon that Fancies again. We're gonna use Thunder Dragon Roar's effect, and we're gonna summon Thunder Dragon Dark. Alright. Now you are going to link into your doodle. So, doodle has been made. You're gonna chain block, of course. Fancies is 1, doodle is 2. I think with this one, you are going to add Prank Kids Pranks to your hand. You're going to add this one in particular, and with Fancies, you're going to Foolish the Pandemonium. The Pandemonium is going to hit the graveyard, and you're going to summon out, I guess, Dropsies. That's fine. So, you could do a couple things here. But you still need to get Pandemonium into your hand. So let's prioritize that first. Get Pandemonium into your hand, and any random, any of the other Prank Hits main deck monsters to your hand. Because you're going to need to discard it for pranks. So you're going to activate the pranks, You're gonna discard the Prank Kids card, and you're gonna summon a Prank Kids token to your field. So now what you're gonna do is you're going to link off the Prank Kids token and the monster into another copy of Doodle Doo. Now it may not make sense right now, but it will later when I show you what's going on. So right now we have drop C's and all that. That's already used. So we're gonna gain the 1,000. We're gonna summon our lamp C's. So now what we're going to do is link the Doodle and the lamp C's into a Bow Wow Bark, and that is going to allow us to use lamp C's effective power for 500. And we're going to summon a second Fansies from the deck. Now from here, we are going to go and link into, Verite Anaconda or IP Masquerade. You can do either or. But let's say, for all intents and purposes, we're going to do Verite Anaconda. The interesting thing here is, well, for starters, Thunder Dragon Dark is going to activate its effect, and that is going to grab you a Thunder Dragon card. And what is a Thunder Dragon card? It's not... You could grab Hog, but Colossus is kind of banned, but you can grab Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now, interestingly enough, this is a situation where your opponent, if they have Nibiru in their hand, they have to drop it, essentially, because if you start another chain and use Anaconda's effect to send Red Eyes Fusion in the grave and they respawn with Nibiru, yeah, they tribute off the field and all that, but the Dragoon still hits the board. So you could say that, they may wait for Thunder Dragon Fusion to get activated, but at the same time, it is a very risky gamble on top of that. Because if you really think about it, you have Bow Wow and you have Pandemonium in your hand, so you may not even need to activate the Thunder Dragon Fusion anyway, based on what else is in your hand. Thunder Dragon Fusion is just an amazing card for follow-ups too, because it gives you the Fansies on the next turn. So if they have the Nibiru, they have it, but if they do, you have Thunder Dragon Fusion, so you still have your Battle Butler play, you have your follow-up for the next turn, you're still good to go. So we're going to activate our Fusion, we're going to fuse off Fansies, Drop C's, and Lamp C's. These are all going back into the deck. And you're going to summon your Battle Butler. And you're going to use Anaconda's effect. And you're going to summon Trigger to Red Eyes, of course, as per usual. Where are you? There's Fusion. There it is. There's Dark Magician. Okay, so Dragoon is summoned. Alright, now what you can do is you can do a couple things. You can go in phase. You can go one. Yeah. You can end phase, you can shuffle these back and draw an extra card, or you can keep these in the graveyard because you have Bow Wow Bark and you have Pandemonium set. The reason why is because what this is allowing you to do is you can go Bow Wow Bark and you can grab both. The reason why I linked into the second Doodle is so I can get a 5th Prank Kid out, because I knew I was going to shuffle 3 of the 5 back into the deck. And so you need 2 so you can activate your Pandemonium and make your Weather Washer. This is the reason why. You make your Weather Washer and you summon your 2 Prank Kids, and bada bing bada boom, you're in a good spot. But this is one of the reasons why you would likely want to make IP Masquerena in this situation, is because with IP Masquerena, instead of Anaconda, you don't need you have 1 extra space, so you can summon your Weather Washer down here, and let's say you use Fansies and Roxy's, so you can Foolish your trap card, and you're gonna summon your Water and your Fire. So you have these 2, right? So you can use IP Masquerena at this point, and you still have space. You have spots. You can link into Abomination or Appaloosa. one of these two you can make. And now you have the space to use your weather washer for the summon of, let's say, your doodle, one of your doodles that you can use on the next turn, and let's say one of your other ones. It doesn't really need to be Battle Bark, but it can. It can be Battle Bark just so you can have Link 2 material. So you're a lot further along, and you have a much easier time of making, like, let's say, Axis Code Talker, for instance. You know, so you can just draw for turn, use Doodle, and get the trap to your hand, you know, or not. You can just Link summon into Roaring Roaster. You remember, you have Thunder Dragon Fusion in your grave, so you can banish it, add Fansies, make Meow Meow, put it in the grave for another Doodle, and you're good to go, man. Like, this stuff is nice, I'm telling you. You guys should really consider playing a small Thunder package because it gives you, it makes your Roxy's free for starters. For starters, it makes your Roxy's free, and 2, it gives you access to Thunder Dragon Fusion. I don't need to play 3 fusions because I can just play multiple copies of Roar and 1 Dark. And the good thing about this is, if I draw another Roar, this is likely already banished to grab Fansies earlier, so I can discard it and add the banished fusion to the hand, activate it again, and cycle my materials back, summon another Battle Butler, you name it. So honestly, guys, not only would I recommend you guys playing Ultra Polymerization, I also strongly recommend you guys playing a small Thunder package, because again, Roxy's is free. 2, it gives you access to Fusion as long as you see a Prank Hits monster in your hand. And there's really not too much to say about it. It's just free. It's free value for absolutely no reason. If you want to play Dragoon, you can, but if you don't want to, again, I gave you another option. You can play IP Masquerena and take advantage of the fusing and the additional bodies you're getting on the opponent's turn. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed these 2 combos. It took a while, but I think it's important, man. This deck is nice. It's not as streamlined as you may think it is. There's all different kinds of ways to build and play out the deck and the combos. You just gotta be a little big brain, think outside the box. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more. Alright, guys, did you like it? I mean, is there some combos? Is there something about the combo you agree or disagree with? I mean, I gave you guys 2 options. You can either go Dracoon or you can go IP. Either or, float whoever floats your boat. You know, one, you know, just leaves you less open to things than others. That's essentially it, you know. Risk versus reward, power ceiling, that whole thing. You know, consistency versus power ceiling. We all know how that works. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Would you play Dragoon? Would you play the Thunder package? You know, would you not play either of them? You know, feel free to let me know and why. Reasons why. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.